and gentlemen, yes, this is your favorite show, Sports Unfolded, with your favorite hosts, Eric and Ron.
Hey! Welcome to the best sports podcast on the planet, Sports Unfolded, where we cover all of the top sports stories that are going on in the world today. Sorry for the delay. Little technical difficulties. My soundboard's not even showing I'm on anything. So you
are live.
Okay, I guess so. I don't know what's going on. So we cover all of the top sports stories that are going on in the world today. My name is Eric. I am the host. Main man right over there. Ron, how are you tonight?
I'm doing okay. I was a little concerned, didn't know what was happening.
Yeah, I don't know. Nothing's working over here, but we'll figure it out. We got through it.
Hey, now you know how the Bruins feel.
Yes, good call. If you are joining us live tonight, please make sure you join the chat. Let us know what you think. Join us later on for our prediction segment as well. Get your name on the prediction chart as it is growing immensely.
Yeah.
We had some new
Michael
newbies.
You gotta send your address because you got some prizes coming.
So Ron, if you're ready to go, I guess I'm ready to go. Let's get this.
I'm always ready to go.
All right, let's get this thing going with our leadoff story. And that leadoff story is Jim Montgomery has been fired by the Boston Bruins. Should he have been let go?
According to that picture, it looks like he's blaming some players. It could be that guy right there.
I think it's that guy right there. So I know you're going to have a lot to say about this, Ron. So I'm going to start. Let me start because then I'm going to let you try to basically rebut anything I say. How's that sound? So I am a little upset about this decision by the Boston Bruins, and I'm going to tell you why. First of all, Jim Montgomery has a 120-41 record with the Boston Bruins in the 2 years. 71% win percentage has gotten them to the playoffs 2 straight years. I'm starting to look at Don Sweeney may be the problem with the Boston Bruins because the players he's brought in, Lindholm, 21 games, 3 goals, 7 assists, a -2. Zadorov, 21 games, 0 goals, 5 assists, a -1. The star players, Pasternak is a -4 on the season. Marchand, a -3 on the season. Swayman gets that big deal, has been absolutely garbage. 5-7-2, 1 shutout, a 3.47 goals against. And my hockey guy who's told me, if you're under a 90, you're not very good. He's an 8.84 right now for a save percentage. We have to look at the players that are being put on the ice, and we have to start to question if Don Sweeney may have caused this problem. Jim Montgomery knows how to coach. He's proven that because he's gotten this team to the peak of, when you talk regular season, the best record in NHL history, 65-12.
Yeah. Like an 823 win percentage.
Yeah. So you start to question, is it the players in their heart and what the organization is starting to try to build? The big bad Bruins of the 80s when Sweeney and Cam were there, and that's what they're trying to do. Hockey's changed, and it's a more finesse game. It's a lot more about the speed and these goal scorers, and you see that with some of those top teams. He has not brought in quality centers. He has not brought in players that can put the puck in the net. He's trying to get tough guys to try to combat what like Florida did to them and think. I think Don Sweeney's the problem. To me, Don Sweeney should have been let go and not Jim Montgomery, who clearly shows that he can coach.
Well, I think you're partially right, Eric. Was it Jim Montgomery's fault? Probably not, because almost every player on the team is underperforming.
Right, Ron, they only have 5 guys right now on the season that are a plus.
Right.
In the plus
and
minus.
most of those guys play on the fourth line.
Yeah, like it's absolutely ridiculous.
No, and it is. It is ridiculous because, when you start breaking everything down from what happened last year in the playoffs to now, there is just a bad chain of events, and it all starts with that loss to Florida, and frankly, that Toronto series didn't look that great either. So you look at what happened then, and now you see the problems, and Don Sweeney actually addressed the public, explaining that it wasn't Jim Montgomery's fault. The guy can coach, but he couldn't sit there and watch this team just fall further and further from where they needed to be. Now, with that being said, yes, it is a player problem. But at the same time, all the fundamentals weren't working. The Bruins were not doing what they need to do. I mean, just when you look at each aspect, take the power play, for instance. You're not going to score if you're standing still. Simple as that. They weren't moving. It's easy to kill a power play if you're not moving. The defensive team doesn't have to do much. They have to just stand there and just cover that guy. If they're not going to move, you're not going to score, period. And it helps when you actually take shots. And then when you do take shots, put it on net. I mean,
that's a good strategy.
All of those problems with the power play. I mean, like how much does it take to just, hey, if I'm Charlie McAvoy, I'm just going to shoot it on net. But no, he is way underperforming. He has been atrocious this year with the giveaways, everything. Okay, so you look at the penalty killing now. They just collapse down in this little box and they let the other team skate all over the place, and they end up with open nets. Can't really blame the goaltending, although he hasn't been spectacular. There's a lot of saves that he would normally make that he did not make in the past week or two. So the goaltending has been bad. And then 5-on-5, I see a lot of laziness. When you start seeing people reaching for the puck instead of skating to the puck, and it's just simple plays like an attempted clear out on the boards, around the boards, and you see a guy waiting for the puck to come to him instead of going to it. That's laziness. So you put all of these things piled on, and you have a losing team. And that's exactly... And believe me, their record...
They're 9-9, right?
Way better than what their actual play is.
But this is my point, Ron. What's changed?
Right.
Because realistically...
They actually improved the roster. They actually improved it. Yes, you want a star center. The best one available was Lindholm. They got him. Okay? He is not playing well. He's been absolutely a train wreck. And then they wanted to get some toughness. So what do? They get Zadorov, right? And at the time, I'm thinking this is a great pickup. He has been a bum. A complete bust. He's been horrible. And he hasn't been physical.
That's the players. It's
right.
Not the coach.
It is the players.
And these are the guys that Sweeney brought in.
Yes.
So
and it's not just them. It's like 90% of the players. The one guy on defense that was playing spectacular, Lindholm, he got hurt. And then, it's been a mess. And then their fourth line was the only line that was working. So what do? You break up the line. Not the smartest thing to do. At least you had one line working. Let the other guys work it out. That was something I would not have done.
Yeah, that was something people started to question. He was making a lot of line changes consistently every game.
No cohesion.
So I could see that part of it. But I also felt like this. Don Sweeney, Cam Neely, making him a lame duck coach going into this season.
Right.
Sweeney said something at his press conference that they were trying to work out a deal. They couldn't come up with an agreement. Yeah. These players didn't respect Jim Montgomery. And I think that's some of the
give him the
problem.
contract.
But that's too where ownership, your front office had to make that move before the season started. Because honestly, no matter what Jim Montgomery was going to say, Ron, and I understand what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
I don't think he had a voice in that locker room because these guys say, hey, look, he's not going to be here anyway.
Yeah.
And
no, it could be. And that's the thing. When you look at what's happening with this team, Eric, it's either something wrong in the locker room or the coach. So what was the problem that was in the locker room that caused this? And there are a lot of speculations. We'll never know. We'll never know because the players won't say anything and the coach isn't going to say anything. So it's just all speculation. But there had to have been something going on in that locker room with something. And I don't know if it was spawned from that day that Jim Montgomery yelled at Marchand on the bench. I don't know if that was the cause of it. It may have been, but I don't think Marchand is that kind of a player. But it might have caused some of the other players to start thinking. And I'll tell you, when you look at that roster, and who's been playing bad, Pasternak has been giving it up everywhere. Still has that talent, but he's been a big problem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Obviously Lindholm has been a problem. Coyle, Frederick hasn't played well. I mean, you're talking their offense hasn't played well. None of them. Marchand at least has been motoring, right? But he's been coughing up the puck a lot. And that's causing problems. So all of these mistakes that these guys are doing, and Charlie McAvoy looks like a completely different player out there. He doesn't play physical. He doesn't, how do I want to say this? He doesn't want to not make mistakes.
He's playing cautious.
Been making them all over the place.
Yeah, he's
bad ones.
He's trying to play too cautious, and it's end up, costing him. But that's what I'm saying, Ryan. Again, you watch it a lot more than I watch it when it comes to the Bruins. And even the other night, last night, I watched the game, and they win 1-0. But again, nothing exciting. A lot of turnovers, sloppy with the puck. Just seems
especially
like
that third period.
Yeah, that just seems like they're going through emotions.
Worse as it went on.
Yeah, they're going through emotions, and I don't think the coaching changed because again, when you find somebody that can coach to that level and win that many games, it's not easy to just turn it around now and put somebody else in there and expect the same result.
Well, the problem is it wasn't going to look pretty last night, no matter what, because they're trying to go back to the basics. So that means let's shore up our own end first, and you work outward. So offensively, they are not going to be there. It's going to be a long haul. They got to make sure that they're playing better defensively, and they did. They didn't give up that blue line. They weren't running all over the place, in their own end a few times in the third period, but that's just the extra pressure that your opponent is trying to come back from. And so they did a much better job. Korpisalo has actually been fantastic for this team. It's a good thing he's been spot on.
Mm-hmm.
He was fantastic last night, especially in that third period. And so given that, you got to take little steps. So, you didn't see Pasternak giving up the puck all night like you had been. So these are little steps. They're going to have to, it's going to be a slow process, but it looks like those fundamentals were worked on for last night. So hopefully for my sake, that they are turning an actual corner right now.
Yeah. I just feel like, again,
we'll have to wait and see.
Too talented not to,
right. The talent is definitely there. And I'll tell you, Marchand said it perfectly. And actually, Charlie McAvoy said it perfectly. They both kind of said they have enough talent in that room to win. Everything they need is there.
Mm-hmm.
Now they just got to They got to play their game.
Yeah, I agree. Well, that's our leadoff story. I want to thank everybody in Dallas, Georgia, 99.1 WDJY every Saturday, 1 to 3 p.m. there. Want to thank SEC TV as well for helping us continue to grow here in Southeast Connecticut. Public Access Channel 12 every Tuesday night. And then obviously all our social media platforms. So hopefully you're out there live right now because we're on every Friday night, 6 p.m. But if you're out there now, let us know. What do you think? The Bruins make a mistake getting rid of Jim Montgomery? I seem to think so. Ron kind of is on the fence.
He wasn't really the problem, but you had to make the move.
I think you get rid of a player. That would have been my opinion. But
that's coming.
I think that would have been the bigger statement.
That's coming.
All right, my friend. Let's talk some NFL. So this is a story that started to come out, and I figured we'd talk about it. Should Deion Sanders consider coaching the Dallas Cowboys next season? Nobody's saying it's etched in stone. There's definitely talk of it possibly happening. Good idea for Deion in the Dallas Cowboys. Neither one of the two.
Well, these are all tough questions we're getting today, right? These are all hard conversations. Now, the question is, can Deion Sanders deal with Jerry?
Yeah, and that's one of my points as well. Like, yes, you played for him, and it was fun. Coaching and him being your general manager, a lot different because he's putting that talent on the field. And you have to be able to work with Jerry Jones, which nobody seems to be able to do. I don't care who you are. I start to look at it this way, too. You don't see that transition from college to pro go as well. Because, again, these guys, like Deion can go into someone's home. Not that he says he does, because he doesn't, because he's too big for that. But when these kids come to visit, whatever, he's Deion Sanders. It's like this whole thing. His words have so much more meaning. I don't know if it's going to translate so much at the pro level. Like, how are you going to motivate these guys? Do you think he can go in and tell Micah Parsons, hey, back when I played, this was my mentality? I don't know. I don't know if it works. In your point, and then the Jerry Jones aspect of it, I think that just is going to create more problems.
I think the problem is where are you happy, right? I mean, that doesn't really come out too much because it's all about the dollars, right? Well, does Deion Sanders need to go to the NFL?
No.
And does he need to subject himself to the chaos in Dallas?
I don't think so. I mean, his name now, if you think about it from a coaching standpoint, is one of the top coaches. I mean, he's got Colorado at 16th. They're ranked 16th. They're possibly in a position to make the college playoffs. But again, he's going to lose a lot of talent in Colorado. That might be the deciding factor because you're going to lose Hunter. You're going to lose his son there, Shedeur Sanders as well. So does he sit back and say, hey, look, I've had my nice run here, but it might get a lot more difficult if I don't. But I think they signed a top five-star quarterback for next season as well.
It's one of those things is how far does he want to go with the college, right? Did he come into it thinking I'm going to make this team number one? And can he do it is the question, right? I mean, if he can, turn around a college team, from where it was and make them number one in the country, I mean, that says a lot. I mean, when you start thinking about, who has accomplished that thing, that just one thing, just to make a college team number one, it's a very small list. It's a very small list.
And I will say this, we've talked about it. He is possibly trying to get his son into a position where they feel he should be. I would think he'd rather coach there. If you're going quarterback, Dak Prescott, $60 million a year, Dallas can't move on from him. He'd have to inherit Dak. And I'm not sure if that's what he'd want to do. So I don't think it's a good move for him. Honestly, I'd rather see him go to a bigger school one of these SEC schools and really say, hey, look.
I'd actually like him to stay right where he is.
Yeah,
and like I said, get a championship.
Yeah, let's see. 39-16 so far in his career as a coach.
That's pretty good
with Jackson State and Colorado. So he's surprised a lot of people.
Yeah,
but I don't think the NFL piece would be.
I mean, when you think about it, who is he? Right? He's prime time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he was one of the best defensive players in history of the game. Now, most greats aren't good coaches, but there are some. And he is teaching these kids more than just the fundamentals. He's teaching them, I don't know how much of life he's teaching them, but it's got to be something, but it is also the way you carry yourself. You got to have the confidence, and he's building up kids' confidence in their abilities, and that goes outside of the game as well.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's gonna be a mentor to these kids and he's doing a good job, like, is there any history of this team with trouble?
No, not like you see some of those other programs like Georgia.
Right. So as far as I'm concerned, what he's doing there, he's building up a culture in this school that can go beyond his years.
It'll be interesting to see. I don't think it happens. I think he stays in college. If anything, he moves to another college, but I can't see him going anywhere.
I mean, it reminds me of Gonzaga basketball, right? Remember, they used to stink. And then all of a sudden you get one coach comes in and then he changes the culture.
Yeah.
That's what I see, and we saw it with Butler too in basketball. So here we are. We're seeing it with Colorado in the NCAA football.
Yeah. No, you're right. So there's some games coming up this weekend.
Does that mean I gained a Christmas card?
You might have. Look at you, little softer, maybe for the holidays.
Thanksgiving coming up.
I mean, good. Jeez. Week 12 games of interest, Ron. What are you watching? What should the fans be watching?
Oof. Have you seen those games?
Not a lot of good ones, but I have 5, believe it or not.
I wrote down 4, but there's really only 2.
I'm gonna start with the most interesting one to me. Pats at Dolphins.
Well, no wonder why you had 5.
I will say this. Think about it, Ron. The Pats have a shot to make the playoffs.
I knew you were going to say this. I knew it. They don't have a shot at making the playoffs.
They're mathematically still alive. This game could ultimately help them because they're fighting with the Dolphins for one of those last spots.
No,
this could work. They can. The Pats.
Miami is on the outside. They are not in.
I didn't say they were in. You got to beat these teams now that are on the bottom feeders to move yourself up.
So are you saying that you have hope that they knock out either the Chargers, the Ravens, or the Broncos?
Let's go, Pats. They're back, baby. They're back. I'm telling you, man.
You're out of your mind.
I know I am.
Out of your mind.
What about the Birds there? You got the Cardinals at the Seahawks. That's an interesting game.
I got that game because that's going to tell us who's going to be in first place.
Yeah, right. And then with Seattle still hanging around, Arizona's been playing some good football, though. Kyler Murray and in what the
I gave him credit last week. I know there's definitely something wrong.
Yeah, you're not feeling well. I'm
giving Primetime and Kyler Murray credit.
Very, very odd. What have you done with Ron? That's what we need to find out. What about Eagles at Rams?
Yeah, I got that one down here too.
Right, that should be
another one of those games that if the Rams can win that game, then they got a shot at first place, right?
And listen, the Eagles, everybody's down on the Eagles. So if you check the Sports Unfolded NFL rankings, the Eagles are like 4th. And people are like, they're too high. They are the only team in the top 10 in all 4 major categories, like points for, points against, offense, defense. They're playing some good football. There's a lot of noise behind that because of the coaching and some of that stuff. They're winning. They're 8-2. And I don't think people are giving Philly enough credit for what they've been able to do this season.
Yeah, they're only a game behind Detroit.
They're a contender. They're a contender.
Oh, of course.
49ers at Packers?
Yeah, I would say so. We've been waiting for the 49ers to wake up all season long. It hasn't happened yet.
Like, if that doesn't happen now, and now there's possible injury, Brock Purdy, that could affect them. Nick Bosa as well. You're not looking good. Not looking good for the 49ers. And you're in Green
Bay. Don't they have snow up there now?
Yeah, it's probably going to be a little, maybe did you see the game last night? Like, all of a sudden, it was like they showed one play, one series. The next series, it was completely white out, like Cleveland. You got to love it.
Yeah, and I don't understand how Pittsburgh loses this game.
That's the game they need to win, right? That's the game. I thought they'd lose to the Ravens. They lose to the Browns. Like, it makes no sense. NFL's crazy.
Who knows?
Last one I had, Ravens at Chargers.
Yes, I have that one as well. That's probably the bigger game of all of them.
Right? Because both of these teams are 7-4, 7-3.
Yeah, they're both on the outside in that the division standings. They're in second place, and they're sitting in the wild card spots.
And as much as you said about the 49ers needing to wake up, kind of feel like the Ravens need to go on a run here at some point. Yeah. Because it's like they win a couple games. Everybody's like, oh, the Ravens.
They have to do it on the road, too. So,
right? And the Chargers, very good defense. You got to love the job Harbaugh has done over there in LA. Like, you can see the team growing, which is obviously all they needed was better coaching. Coaching matters. That's why the Bruins shouldn't have got rid of Jen. There we go. Another point.
Look, I'm not saying you're not right about that, but I'm also saying you're wrong.
Oh, I like it. I like that. That's good.
Because you have to make
the line, my friend.
No, you have to make the move. Because by the time you trade somebody, it could be like Thanksgiving.
Let me ask you this question. They got rid of a player. What's that say in the locker room? Our confidence is behind this coach. You need to listen to him. You're basically saying the players are right. That's what they did. Not good. Anyway, all right, my friend. Great NFL talk. Oh, did you have another game, by the way, before we move on?
No, Eric. Those were all the ones that I had.
I kind of figured that. Those are the games of interest. Check out that again this Sunday, though. Some key playoff games already. We're talking playoffs.
Wednesday,
already.
We're going to be on the radio in Rhode Island.
It's official. Yes. How exciting is that? We will be on the radio in Rhode Island.
990.
B-O-B?
Yeah, WBOB.
Nice. WBOB, 990 AM in Providence, Rhode Island, right? So cool. Awesome. Really looking forward to getting some listeners there. Hopefully you enjoy what you hear. Check us out every Friday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Love to have you. Hopefully we get some live. We got no chatters out there tonight.
I know we have a bunch of people watching.
Nobody's talking.
Nobody wants
to talk. All right, Ron, let's move on and let's talk some free throws here.
Free throws.
What the hell was that?
Free throws.
All right. Throws.
So our free throw segment, basically we give each other a team name, player, whatever, and then we've got to kind of see if we make our free throws. You, the fans out there, let us know if we make it. So tonight we figured we'd go best rivalry. So we're going to give each other a team and then kind of which team we feel is their biggest rival.
Yeah, but people have to talk in order for us to get them.
If not, then I guess we're 100% this week. Yeah, baby. Hey, you're first this week.
I'm doing all right.
You're doing all right. What do you got?
All right. Oh, I got to go first.
You're first this week.
So let's do the Detroit Red Wings.
Oh my goodness. You give me hockey. Red Wings.
I'm gonna go one for each sport.
I'm trying to think here. Red Wings would have been Back in the day, though. I'm thinking back in the day. What was the team? Chicago Blackhawks? Are they in the same? They're in the same area. I would go Blackhawks. I know I'm not right.
What about Colorado?
Really?
Believe it or not, because Detroit used to be in their division. And they met in the playoffs a few times, and there were wars. Because they were the best two teams, in the, Yzerman, Shanahan, Sakic, back in the day.
All right.
But, Chicago is, an original six, and they have played many, many games, and they used to be in the same division as well. So, we got a few people on. Hopefully, they decide whether or not to give that one to you. So
it's a tough one. All right.
It is a tough one.
So my first one, Sacramento Kings of the NBA, Ron.
Wait, really? Sacramento Kings? Do they even have one? Oh my God. Because they've always been pretty lame. To me, like the Lakers would be Celtics.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
So the Clippers really don't have much of anything. So we can just give those two teams to each other so that way they can have a rivalry.
Jeez, man. So a lot of people are saying Lakers. So think about the Kobe, Shaq. Remember when the Sacramento Kings, Chris Webber, and they were really good? And they battled each other, or the Warriors, because again, in California.
Yeah, I was thinking Golden State, but I don't know. I don't like any of those teams to be a rival of Sacramento because Sacramento just hasn't been good enough in history.
They're still rivals. All right, what do you got? What's your next one?
All right, so I guess we'll go into basketball again. Because I'm going to do one for each sport. Okay. And how about the Detroit Pistons?
Oof, it's got to be the Bulls. Chicago. I would go Chicago because no matter what, that 90s rivalry.
Yeah, I would have said that too.
Jordan had to get past them, but it carried on after that. Like,
yeah, it kind of gave you a little layup there.
There's still bad blood. Even today, they still talk about that. All right, I got another basketball for you. San Antonio Spurs.
See, I would say it would have to be Houston because they're so close to each other.
Yep.
Right? And
you start to think of it that way too.
Yeah, and then you start thinking, okay, Hakeem, and then Duncan and Robinson. Yeah. I think that is a match made in heaven.
Kenny said you made that one.
So Kenny's finally talking. That's awesome.
Thank you for joining, Kenny. All right, what do you got for your third one?
So I'll go to I guess I'll go to football, I guess. Let me see. How much do I want to make you squirm on this?
Are you asking who's the Knicks rivalry? Kenny?
Right now, I would still say it has to be Boston, New York.
I would think that, or Brooklyn. I know, even though Brooklyn, right? Because just you're trying to compete.
That's why I'm saying now I would lean towards Brooklyn, but ask me that question like 10, 15 years ago, it's definitely Boston.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm going to go, what did I say? Football? Carolina Panthers.
Themselves? No.
How about the GM?
Ownership. GM. I mean, you'd have to probably look in their division. So I would say probably Tampa or New Orleans.
Yeah, that's just a terrible team, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, but they've not had a good enough run to even. I mean, back in
what I was saying about Sacramento. So you're in the same situation.
Back in the early days. I mean, when they were, playing the Patriots in the Super Bowl and that. But
yeah,
even then they weren't really.
Oh, wait, their rivals. Wait, their rivals are their fans.
Carolina, he thinks Miami. I don't think so.
No, I would say Tampa Bay, if anything.
Right. All right, my third one here for you. Minnesota Twins.
Ooh, because
the Twinkies, baby.
When you think about it, it's the Twin City, right? So you would think, all right, well, St. Louis, but that's in the National League, so it really doesn't fit. And then you think, all right, well, Kansas City, no, they're in the American League, and I don't think that they're the rivals. I would say more along the lines of Cleveland, to be honest with you.
Really? So when
I
I
think
looked
right
it up,
now it's Cleveland.
When I looked it up, Chicago White Sox.
Yeah, but the Chicago White Sox hasn't been relevant.
Now, but you got to think
As
overall.
of right now, I would say it would be Cleveland.
Yeah. All right. What's your last one?
Let me see what's left.
Baseball. I think you haven't given me a baseball, right?
Oh, I haven't done a baseball one.
Because you did hockey, basketball, and football. Panthers.
Let me see. How about Milwaukee?
The Bro Crew. So Chicago Cubs. I would go the Cubbies.
I could live with that one. I could live with that.
Yeah, I could see the Cubbies because they're both they've been around for so long.
Yeah,
and both teams have kind of like So I think both of them are trying to.
I think you might be right because it was either them or St. Louis
or Cincinnati, the Reds. Sometimes that's
Reds have sucked for a long.
Yeah,
the Reds have sucked since '75.
75. Jeez. All right, my last one here for you. I got a hockey one. Dallas Stars.
Ooh. See, now that's an interesting one. Because they go back to Quebec. But both Toronto and Montreal are not in their division anymore. So with this, I'm going to say it's Colorado right now. Because I think they're so close. I mean, it would have to be Colorado right now.
So when I looked it up, they said the Blues.
Yeah.
But then what about the Wild? Because Minnesota North Stars to Dallas, now the Minnesota Wild.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So Minnesota could be.
I didn't even think of the Minnesota thing.
Right? So yeah, that was a good one though. That was a good one. That was fun. I loved it. I like this segment. It's pretty fun. It puts us on the spot.
Oh, Kenny's thanking us for the cards. They finally got there.
All right, Kenny. Glad you got him, man. Thanks for.
If Michael shows up tonight, he's got some cards coming to him. We have a Hellebuck, Tyler Sagan, and a Dort.
Nice. All right, Ron. I'm glad Kenny's on because this is going to be a good one for him. The NBA. Let's talk some NBA. They've changed the format for the All-Star game. Do you think it will change how you view it? So the new format.
Wait, so if it changes how I view it, does that mean it would make
you actually
me
watch it? Yes.
No.
Because new format.
Yeah.
Will give you a pickup style tournament where 4 teams, so 3 teams of 8 players, and then the winner of the rising star. And then the rising star. Yeah, Kenny's pissed. He doesn't like it. I like it.
I hate it.
A couple 40-point games. Why? Go ahead.
First of all, I have no problem with them doing something like this. I have no problem with that. But you can't change the rules from one round to the next. The first round, which they're calling the semifinals, is up to 40 points.
Yeah.
And will include the winners from the rising stars. Stupid.
I like it.
But it's 40 points you got to get to, right?
Yep. And then the finals, they change.
The finals, which is more important, goes up to 25.
But I like it. Think about what does it cause you to do? You got to play defense now. You got to play D.
If you're going to switch it up for the amount of points, it should be more for the champion part of it.
I think that's when it becomes more of a show. It's not a show. 25 points is not a lot. You got to play every
screwed is what it comes down to. Fans are getting screwed.
You got to play every single minute of it because
watch that finals is going to be like 4 minutes long. 4 minutes. People are going to have to pay $50 in parking, $100 and something for the ticket, and they're gonna watch a 4-minute freaking game.
Guy hit 8 threes in 4 minutes. Done.
BS.
I don't know.
I like the NBA with a cash grab, and it's going to be 4 minutes.
I just think they had to do something that makes them have to play. Because it was just getting to be a show. 160 to whatever, like the scores. Nobody played defense. Nobody cared. And this kind of forces you to say, hey, look, we only got 20. You better defend that 3-point line.
Do they make money on the game?
They make money on everything. They're making money for you putting that logo there right now, probably.
So if they're making money for the game, if you give up less than 100 points, you win, however much money. But if you give up more than 100, it starts going down.
My question would be this, though, too. What happens to the team that played first? Or no, let me rephrase it. Play second, and now you got to play a third game right away? Like that next game? Like that? I don't know if I like that either, though.
Yeah.
But I think that's why they shortened it down, because you got, they're going to be playing.
Now, is Bronny James going to be playing in that Rising Stars?
I don't think so. I mean, you never know. I mean, if LeBron has his way, probably.
It's amazing when the NBA does so well on this channel, on Rhode Island Broadcasting, that as soon as we started talking about basketball, all the numbers just started going up. It's crazy. We just doubled the amount of viewers.
What's crazy is that what do they do, Ron, for the All-Star game? If you're out there live, what do you think they should do? They're at least trying to experiment to see if something works.
Yeah, I just don't like. Look, I have no problem with them doing this, but I think you got to make this games the same. You can't change the rule. Have it 40, and then all of a sudden now you got to get 20. You're going to see a 4-minute game. Steph Curry is going to be out there. He's going to take 7 shots. Game's going to be over.
They should do it by quarter or something. You win 2 quarters, then it's a tie. If you know what I mean? Like each quarter, 25 points. First one to 25, you win the first quarter. 25, you win the second.
Not even that. It could just be 25 total with both teams. But make it the same for each round. That's the only fair thing to do.
And you don't like the Rising Star thing?
It's all right. I
think
guess
that gives them an opportunity. Now they're going to play against.
See if they can beat the old man LeBron.
Listen, we talked about the Jake Paul Tyson thing, and everybody was like, "Oh, the 58-year-old." Here's these young kids now going to try to beat LeBron and Steph and them guys.
Well, LeBron's only 57, so
just fix the slam dunk. That's another conversation, Kenny, that we could probably.
The best part is the skills competitions, right?
I thought you was going to do the Folgers thing. The best part of waking up is Folgers. Is Folgers in your cup right now?
No, but they're also not a sponsor, so.
Hey.
They could sponsor us if they want. Just send us a message.
That's it.
All right, broadcasting@media@gmail.com.
Slam dunk. You like what else is slam dunk?
I like the 3-point shot.
But even that,
how about a free throw competition? Because half these guys can't hit free throws.
Free throws. I like the skills.
You know what I would like to see? You know what I would like to see, Eric? I would like to see a game of horse.
They did it one year, though. I thought they did that.
I think that would be pretty good. Remember the Bird and Jordan thing?
Off the scoreboard, through the window.
Yes.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
I would love to see it.
Right. Something. Yeah. I don't know if even the 3-point contest, I think they've watered it down to the point where it's not as exciting as it used to be.
Hey, how about this? Don't do an all-star. Don't do one.
They should do rivalries, like guys that just don't like each other, and let them play one-on-one or something. But everybody likes everybody now. They are like it's hug fest every time they play, these guys. But you know what I mean? Like Anthony Edwards seems like he doesn't like a lot of people. Make him play somebody.
Have a 3v3, like NBA Jam or something.
Yeah, right? Like, see that Kenny got it. Like KD versus LeBron, one-on-one. Like, let's just watch that. Call it a day.
LeBron would probably trip over the ball.
Man had 4 straight triple doubles. He's doing some things. I don't know.
Yeah, he's doing some things all right.
40 plus years old, and he's still doing what he's doing.
Yeah, I wonder how he's doing.
I can't even walk down my stairs anymore. I'm beat up. This guy's freaking playing basketball at a level that's ridiculous.
See, it doesn't matter what they really do, Eric, because I'm not going to watch it anyway.
I'm going to watch it because I want to see how this turns out.
I just don't really care. I could care less. All I know is that you, the fans that go see this game, are going to lose. You lose. NBA wins.
Let's talk some Major League Baseball.
Just remember that 4-minute game. You remember this.
Major League Baseball. And a gentleman I know you're very happy for, Chris Sale. He's won the Cy Young and Comeback Player of the Year.
So what was the question that you gave me?
What do you think changed for him this season?
He's not a Red Sox player.
But think about that. I'm glad you said it. Think about the support he must have gotten in Atlanta.
Oh, my God. They must have been. Oh, my God. Thank God you're here.
Listen, this is where in New England we have problems. There's certain markets, New York, Boston, I'm sure LA, where guys like us, people on the radio, which we are, 99, what is it? 990 WBOB in Rhode Island now, 99.1 WDJY in Dallas, Georgia. So we're on the radio too.
And
guys like us,
Dallas Georgians.
Guys like us in Boston,
Atlanta, right there, right? You guys love them.
But that's where I think some guys just can't handle this area in New England. Mac Jones, another guy, right? Like when Mac Jones first, granted, what we could go through the coaching and
he's
everything.
Back to his old form.
No, but yeah, but what I'm saying to you is this: they are very critical in this area of their sports figures.
Right.
We heard it with Tatum. How many times did we hear it? Tatum can't win the big game. Tatum can't win a championship. Tatum can't, and it's nonstop. And then even when he won it last year, Tatum, he's like, what are they going to say now? Because that's what Boston does.
Play the Olympic game.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't his choice. But again, now you see Chris Sale go the opposite direction because he probably got support. The media is not going to beat you up like they do in Boston, right? Because he missed some games. If he misses games in Boston, it was like, holy cow. You know what I mean? It was going to, that's it. Here we go again. And all the media and everything. So it's amazing to see.
Well, to be fair, they were just in saying those things about Chris Sale. Because when you miss a season because you fell off your bike.
Hey, it happens. People fall off their bike.
Just saying.
But let me ask
we knew when we were talking about baseball before the season started, we knew he was going to have a great year.
Ron, I know you guys do your morning show, you and Kenny going on daily, and he has a segment, make Ron say what?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to make you say what, but not that you probably don't know this. So Chris Sale this season, 18-3, 2.38 ERA, 225 strikeouts. Okay.
That's crazy.
177 innings pitched. Since 2019, Ron, with the Red Sox, he won 17 games. So from 2019 to 2023, he won 17 games total. He won 18 games last year with the Atlanta Braves.
Yes, I know that.
What is going? How is that even possible? He won more games this season with Atlanta than the last.
Because he played the whole season.
Holy cow, man! That's absolutely stunning to me.
And look how happy he is.
Look at him smiling. They treat him nice there. You know that's please come to Boston for that. Nobody wants to come to Boston because they're going to beat you up. They're going to beat you up.
Oh no, aren't we supposed to get Soto?
Yeah. I think this guy's playing the Mets. He's going to the Mets. He's playing the entire Major League Baseball right now. He's going to get exactly what he wants, where he wants to go, and how much he wants. Yeah. I don't think it has anything to do with anything other than that. I don't think play. I love Boston. My favorite Manny bull stuff. Bull stuff is what I'm going with.
I wonder if he does the steroids like Manny.
Oh boy, he might. Well, if you get him, you could be excited about having him. Then
I'll be a little cautious.
All right, Ron. Great Major League Baseball talk. Congratulations, Chris Sale. Nice bounce back season.
What about Ohtani and Judge? I'm surprised you didn't want to mention them.
You know what? Major League Baseball is screwing everything up. I hate this thing, the MVP. You know what bothers me about the MVP? It should be for the whole season. Aaron Judge sucked in the damn postseason. Sucked. He wouldn't even. He'd be a bench player.
He made it to the World Series.
He would have been a bench player. His numbers were horrid. And then he basically cost them Game 5 to lose it all because he can't even catch a baseball. Aaron Judge is not an MVP. He's a regular season guy. He's Peyton Manning. Whoop-de-doo. Win a championship, buddy.
And you're a Yankee fan, huh?
It pisses me off. And then they're going to lose Soto. I said it. I called it. They needed to win this year because they were losing Soto.
You don't know that.
They blew it. They blew that deal, too. He looked at it and said, look at his train wreck. Aaron Boone, bring him back. That's the call. Great job. That's a guy that need to get fired, not Jim Montgomery, who won 71% of his games. I can't. Don't get me started. Ohtani's a joke, too. Because every year he could win it. He's going to hit 50 home runs. Next year, he's going to pitch again. Oh, here we go again. Ohtani MVP because he does something nobody else does. Get out of here.
Like what?
Give me a break. I don't know. He gambles. Well, no, that was his people. He never did it. Hey, I got one.
I just added 2 to yours.
Good. Because Judge piece
both
of crap.
MVPs are not sending you a Christmas card.
Good. He probably sprained something anyway. Writing it. Sign it. I know it wouldn't be a winning card anyway because he can't do that. All right. Let us move on to split decisions.
Go, jump in this, everybody.
Split decision. Basically, we give each other 2 more likely questions, and we have to make a decision. You are first this week, Ron, so your first split decision.
Now that we were just talking about certain players, now we're going to see how much you really love them. Who is more likely to repeat as league MVP? Aaron Judge or Shohei Ohtani?
Both, because all they do is regular whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo. Ohtani's got it already. I'll call it. Next 5 years, Ohtani. He's going to pitch again. Ohtani's guaranteed. More likely, Ohtani. It's a guarantee.
So you say he's winning the next 5?
Yeah, because he's going to pitch. If he pitches, he's going to get it every time. It's the dumbest thing.
He could win both.
Most valuable player. What team? Cleveland had all these guys get him to the postseason. That's to me is more valuable than an Aaron Judge, who had Soto behind him and some of those guys. Ohtani, that team's stacked. Mookie Betts, all these guys. Come on. Like, give it to teams that actually shouldn't have been in the postseason.
Like the Mets.
And a play, right? Alonso, one of those guys. What's the kid from the Mets? I'm drawing a blank now.
Am I.
Right? But that's what I'm saying. Like, he got them to the postseason. He's more valuable than Ohtani. But Ohtani's going to get it because it's the glitz, the glamour, the home runs. Oh, my gosh. Good, great. Major League most valuable player. You take Ohtani off that team, and they're still going to win. They were winning before Ohtani.
This is true.
How's he the most valuable player? Anyway, So Ohtani for sure. Aaron Judge because he never wants to win a championship. He only cares about the regular season. So 1, 2, pecking order. I don't care how you put him. My first split decision. You got me fired up today.
I know. I see. It's quite humorous.
Baseball. Give me a break. Ron, which rookie quarterback is more likely to get his team into the playoffs? Bo Nix or Jaden Daniels? Both teams are currently 7th overall. So they're currently in. Who's going to more likely be in the postseason?
Jaden Daniels with Washington. And Bo Nix with Denver. That's a tough one because I don't think either of them are going to make it. But more likely, I am going to say Denver because the teams behind them just absolutely blow.
Pats are going.
I mean, you have Indianapolis with 5 wins, Miami and Cincinnati with 4. I like the chances for Denver because there's a big crowded house right after Washington. The Rams, Seattle, San Francisco, all with 5. Mm-hmm. And I got to think it's going to be one of those teams that are going to knock Washington out of it.
So you're going Bo Nix in Denver.
You know, and then you still have like Tampa Bay, New Orleans, and Chicago with 4. So they're not even out of it either.
Isn't it crazy?
So
Bo Nix. Look at
I think it would probably be since Denver holding on.
The Broncos.
There's less to worry about.
Broncos, huh? All right. I like
it. Figure the only team that I really worry about them losing it to is Cincinnati because Cincinnati has all the skill. It's just
how's that team not wake up at some point, right? Like wake up. Smell the coffee.
I mean, I don't know how you don't wake up.
Holy cow, man. Jeez. I don't get it. All right. Your second split decision. We are a little spicy today.
Yeah, a little bit, huh? You got me started with the Bruins.
Not my fault they make dumb decisions. But go ahead.
Well, of the current wild card teams in the NFC, which we were just talking about, which team is more likely to reach the Super Bowl? Remember, the wild card teams that are currently there, which is Minnesota, Green Bay, Washington. Which team is more likely to reach the Super Bowl? That means they have to beat Detroit and Philly on the way there. Most likely both.
So, one of my 3 teams again?
Minnesota, Green Bay, Washington. They are currently holding those wild card spots.
Minnesota, Green Bay, and Washington. Wow. Wow.
Who's got the better chance to go to the Super Bowl? Now, win the Super Bowl, just go to it.
Green Bay. And I will tell you why. Because last season, you saw Jordan Love in the post of like that 9-game stretch. And then the postseason, he became that quarterback. If he can turn into that, I think they have what it takes. I'm skeptical on Minnesota because I really feel like Sam Darnold in that whole, like, it's the pumpkin's it's gonna turn into a pumpkin. It's happening. At midnight, it's gonna bang. See you later.
Midnight could be New Year's Eve.
Yeah, right. And be like, bink. See you later, Sam Darnold, the pumpkin. And then Washington, again, rookie quarterback, first time in the postseason. I could see some of that jitters in him now. So I would go Green Bay.
Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. I like how you broke it down.
But that was a good question.
It was.
All right, Ron. Your second split decision, which NBA head coach is more likely to be fired? Nick Nurse of the 76ers, who's currently 2-12 and in last, or the 6-9 Milwaukee Bucks in Doc Rivers?
It's got to be Nick Nurse. That team should not be 2-12 or whatever the hell it is.
A ton of injuries, though.
I know that, but
Embiid, Maxey, Paul George is out. Like they don't.
Wait,
I know that's surprising.
We say that last week.
More likely, Paul George is injured for most of the season.
I can't.
When we talked about that signing him, what did we say? The guys they're not playing a full season together. The three of them are not playing together.
No. I feel bad for Maxey because he's hurt an injury bug. He's playing on the wrong team for that.
And then it was funny because I guess he was like yelling at Embiid now because Embiid is like not showing up to practice on time. Like, I don't know, man. That team's a mess. But yeah, I think you're right too, Nick.
Wait, didn't Garnett come out and say something about that?
I don't know.
Kevin Garnett said something about it.
He's not. Listen, sometimes the play is the reason that these teams aren't successful.
Yeah,
and you can coach. There's certain guys that can't.
Was saying it's like when we were playing back in the day, we played 82 games. Didn't matter. You play.
I just watched something the other day, which blew my mind. And this, I know I'm going off on something completely different, but LT, Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because you think about Bill Parcells and Belichick and how they are, and right. But this is when you know you got a great player, right? Like Embiid's not there, like because your team hasn't won. LT, I guess one time was playing golf. It was on a Monday. Ends up driving by the stadium, realized the lights are on. And they had a game. They were playing a game. He missed the entire first quarter. Came in for the second quarter. And basically he goes, Bill's like, what the hell? Why are you late? Blah, blah, blah. He says, don't blame me. Blame the foursome in front of me because they were so slow playing golf. That took them longer to get there. Like, but the guy, like, they played him. But guess why? Because he performed. Embiid, you don't have any right to not show up to practice or do some of these things because you haven't proved it. You haven't proven that you deserve it. Not a game. Not a game. Practice. Hey, great segment. If you're joining us live, let us know. I want to hear from you.
There's a lot of people watching, Eric.
NHL, my friend. Let's talk some National Hockey League. I know we started with the Bruins and that train wreck, but let's talk about Frederik Andersen, who will miss probably about 2 months for the Carolina Hurricanes. How's this going to affect their season? So he started off gangbusters. This guy was 3-1, 1.48 goals against, and a 941 save percentage run. Like, he looked like this guy he was going to have a season. They're in a tight race right now. New Jersey Devils tied with them in points, 1 point ahead of Washington Capitals, but now they had the big injury to Ovechkin as well. So can they hold on to this? They've got some guy. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this guy's name. Kachekov. 10-2 on the season, 2.30 with a 907 goal save.
They're going to be fine because they have the luxury of having 2 number 1 goaltenders. Sounds like some other certain team that used to have 2 number 1 goaltenders. Now we have 2 backup goaltenders. But they're going to be fine. They have Kochetkov, and he's going to be their guy anyway. So
Kochetkov, though, if he's playing well, Anderson comes back, what do you do as the head coach?
You do what the Bruins did.
Just kind of split that time like him and Olmark, like Swayman did.
Yep. And if they get a shutout, you bring them back.
Do they stick it out in the Metropolitan? You think they hold on to the top spot?
Fine. They have Kochetkov.
Okay. 14-5 right now, 28 points.
Washington is the one that you got to worry about.
What's that, 4 to 6 weeks now, Ovechkin?
Yeah.
And we just talked about it.
There's been a lot of injuries this year.
Yeah, it seems like you're seeing a lot in hockey.
Yeah, the Vegas has Mark Stone out again.
Maybe
year.
Maybe it's not that you know how we catered all these players now. It's starting to happen in the hockey. You're going to be in trouble. You're going to have that soft league. That's what it is. The Bruins needed a new coach because, maybe Sacco is going to be a little more, give him hug.
I hope it's not going to be soft. Didn't look soft last night when there was a couple of fights.
Patriots got Mayo because they wanted to make sure, like, the guys wanted hugs and that their feelings were heard. Maybe they're doing it in Boston with the Bruins. See, they got to keep it in New England.
Maybe we can have like the whole condiment theme. You know, can
Mayo,
we get
mustard.
like Colonel Mustard to run one of the teams?
I like it. I'm always a relish guy. I like relish.
I relish
sweet
the thought.
relish though. Sweet. It's got to be a sweet relish. I don't like the regular relish.
There's that hot pepper relish.
I can't do spicy, man. This body, nope. Don't like it. No gusta, my friend. No gusta. All right.
So Carolina will be fine. They'll be fine.
Okay.
They have a good team, so
the Bruins.
Yeah, but
all right.
These guys don't take days off.
Oh, all right. Ron, it is time for pick and roll.
Ooh.
It's time for pick and roll.
Very nice. 47 years ago, episode 47 today, the full Monty. Ron's going to show you some things at the end of the show.
You know why I named it Monty, right? The full Monty?
Yeah, I get. Yes, I get it.
Just in case people didn't understand, Monty is a nickname for Montgomery.
But I mean, also the full Monty means that you're going to basically take off all your clothes at the end of the show, which I'm excited for. So 47 years ago, maybe they're excited about it more than I am.
I didn't say a word.
That might be, hey, when you lose predictions, maybe that's what we should just take it off.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I almost called you Tim. I had a flashback to Tim the Toolman Taylor.
Oh, you remember that? All right, so our pick and roll 47 years ago. So 1977. These gentlemen were the NFL touchdown leaders. Walter Payton, Tony Dorsett, Nat Moore, Franco Harris, and Steve Largent. We are going to rank them from 5 to 1. You are first this week, my friend. So please, your pick and roll.
Yeah, the only guy I couldn't get a pick of was Nat Moore. Frankly, I didn't even know who the hell he was.
Not anymore.
Nope, not anymore.
Not anymore. You know him now.
But he is number 5.
Not a bad year, though. I mean, he had a good career.
Yeah, he had a good career. 7,546 yards receiving. He averaged 14.8 yards per carry. It's pretty decent, right? 74 career touchdowns.
Not bad.
That's pretty damn good. It's the worst on the list, but it's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
1 Pro Bowl, 1 All-Pro. He was easily my number 5. I knew it when I saw the list. But Tony Dorsett, number 4. 2,936 rushing attempts with 12,739 yards, 4.3 yards per attempt, 77 touchdowns. He's a Hall of Famer, of course, unlike Nat Moore.
Poor Nat.
4 Pro Bowls, 1 All-Pro. I'm actually stunned that it was only one All-Pro. And 1 Super Bowl. Good enough to get him at number 4. Number 3, we had this guy last week, right? On one of the things.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Largent. 819 receptions. 13,089 yards. 16.0 yards per attempt. That's crazy. That is right? Pretty special, right? I mean, you just throw him the ball, you're going to get a first down. 100, was that 100 touchdowns? Yes. I can't read my writing.
Yep,
100 touchdowns, Hall of Famer, 7-time Pro Bowl, 1 All-Pro, easily my number 3. Number 2, Franco Harris with 2,946 career rush attempts with 12,120 yards, 4.1 per carry, but 91 touchdowns. 9-time Pro Bowler, 1 All-Pro, And what made him number 2 was the 4 Super Bowls.
Mm-hmm.
So I could not leave him behind Largent for that. And 1 Super Bowl MVP. And he's the only guy on the list that did that and won a Rookie of the Year.
Yes.
And that leaves number 1, Walter Payton, one of the best players in history.
Sweetness.
3,838 rushing attempts rather.
Because if it's yards, I would have
16,726 yards, 4.4 per attempt. The best of the running backs on this list. 110 touchdowns, the best on the list. Hall of Famer, 9 Pro Bowls, tied for the best on this list, but having more than the rest of the guys on this list, 5 All-Pro. He has a Super Bowl and a couple of MVPs, MVP seasons. You like to break them up, and he has like 50 MVP wins.
5. He had like 5.
But it's really 2 because it was only 2 years.
Yeah.
And that was number 1 on my list, Walter Payton.
All right. Payton. Not bad, buddy. I had it the same way. Nat Moore at 5. Again, a good career, though. I mean,
they were all good.
Right? Tony Dorsett, too. I don't know if you mentioned he had the MVP as well in a Rookie of the Year. I also added receptions for them. 398 receptions all time, 13 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And then Largent, who's, again, I just think some of these guys, it blows my mind, like 1 All-Pro. And I'm going, they just got caught in these like bad eras of like when Rice or, like some of these Walter Payton, like you're not going to be an All-Pro because Walter Payton's probably taking more of them every year than you're going to get. Right.
Exactly.
So, and then Franco Harris at number 2 for me. Again, the 4 championships, the Super Bowl MVP, and then at number 1, Sweetness. And not only did he rush for 16,726 yards, 492 receptions on his career, 4,538 yards and 15 touchdowns.
He's just a great football player.
Right? So you think about it, right? We didn't think about the era then. They didn't throw as much to the running backs, and the guy still almost had 500 receptions for his career. So pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, they weren't even throwing the receivers, never mind running backs.
That was a good list. It was a good list.
It was a good list.
A lot of good guys there. All right, my friend. It is time for predictions.
Really?
Yeah.
Can we do this first?
A Hall of Fame? You want to do some Hall of Fame? The voting is up now. Sports Unfolded Sports poll page on Facebook. Vote for one of these gentlemen to get them into the Hall of Fame in the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. Reggie Jackson, Dave Parker, Dave Winfield, Ken Griffey Sr., and Roberto Clemente. Reggie Jackson leading right now. Has a pretty sizable lead as well. And our next one, Ron, is auto racing with Darrell Waltrip, AJ Foyt, Bobby Rahal, Elaine Prost, and Terry Labonte. Waltrip leading in that one as well, but that one's a little closer. So cast your vote. Sports Unfolded Sports poll page on Facebook. Help get one of these gentlemen into the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. The voting will go on for about another week. So we end at the end of this month. And we will elect the next inductees into the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame first week of December. So we're excited about that. Ron, did you want to show them the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame inductees?
Sure, Eric.
There they are. So on the left-hand side, everyone that's in currently voted by the fans, and everyone on the right are the athletes that have not gotten in yet, but are obviously in the running. They will be up for voting for next year. So basically, if you don't get in the first attempt, you do have to wait. But some great ones. We had just put in Martina Navratilova. So excited to have. Oh no, it was John McEnroe.
Yeah,
I apologize. John McEnroe just got in, so that was kind of exciting as well. You ready for predictions? Or you want to talk about something?
Don't forget, you want to get at least one vote for your favorite, because if they have 0 votes, then the next time they have a chance to get in, if they go 0 again, That's
They're
it.
done.
They never get in.
They're out. All right. Ron, prediction time. We added some names to the chart. Hopefully they are joining us and getting in on that. But last week, Mike, his first week, 7-1, 85%. I was like, holy cow, this guy, took off.
He's got a prize waiting for him, Eric.
Yeah, we tied at 6-3. Kenny coming in strong at the 1-7, so he's gonna make sure
Kenny.
that
That one hurts.
He got lucky
I'm gonna
on one.
all over him tomorrow on that one.
Oh my goodness. So again, we are gonna pick some games, and if you have a pick in the game, let us know who you pick, and we'll get your name. If you have the most wins, you win a prize. So we are trying to do some special things here. We should probably give out some Sports Unfolded merch as a prize too at some point.
Ooh, I can still do that.
All right. So we are starting off in the NBA, and we got on 11:25, Ron, the New York Knicks at the Denver Nuggets.
I'm going to go Denver at home.
I'm shocked because you always go with Jokic every time, but I went Denver as well. I don't know. The Knicks just haven't wowed me yet. They just seem like they're still trying to. Yeah, they're still trying to figure it out together. I don't know. Cat, I thought that was going to be a good move. And Bridges, not what I expected from them. If you're out there live, let us know who you're picking. New York Knicks at the Denver Nuggets. That's on the 25th. So we could get your name in there. I'll give you a second here. Denver. Kenny's going Denver. Oh, we lost. Fuck Kenny.
1-7. Whew.
Wow. Whew. Wow. All right. Also in the NBA on the 27th, this is going to be a good game. Oklahoma City Thunder at the Golden State Warriors. I went Golden State here. Listen, you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. Golden State's still one of those top teams. Oklahoma's trying to get to a championship level. I think that Golden State's going to try to show them that they still belong.
Yeah, I'm going to take Golden State at home. I think, when you're playing at home, it is a little different. You can get hot and stay hot for a longer period of time. I just think that Golden State will be able to ride this one out.
All right. NHL, Ron, on the 25th.
Kenny went OKC?
Yeah, he did. OKC. Winnipeg Jets at the Minnesota Wild. This is for first place. These teams are tied. They're both playing really well. Winnipeg Jets at the Minnesota Wild, November 25th. Who do you have?
Yeah, I think Winnipeg's in a little slump right now. They've lost 3 in the last week. So I'm going to go Minnesota here. I think they're just playing more consistent right now. Right. And they'll be at home. So,
all right. I went Winnipeg. Wild. Kenny went Wild. All right. Not that he went wild. Kenny gone wild. We should do. Oh, man.
Kenny's gone wild.
Kenny gone wild.
Imagine that video.
Woo! Sign me up, buddy. Kenny's going full Monty tomorrow on going on daily. So if you really want to. Also in the NHL, Ron, on the 26th, you got the New York Rangers at the Carolina Hurricanes. I went the Rangers here. I think the goalie thing, I know you said, and I don't know now that they get the news that he's out for a few months, when they thought it was only going to be like a week-to-week thing, deflates him a little bit, and the Rangers are still playing some good hockey. So I went New York.
Yeah, I'm going Carolina. I'm going to take Carolina on this one. I think Kochetkov is their number one goalie anyway, so I don't think it matters.
Kenny going wild.
He's going with the Rangers.
That guy may make millions of dollars on those, by the way.
What?
The girls going wild thing.
Oh, yeah, I know.
That was ridiculous, man. We got better content. Look at these bad boys.
Yeah, but now you can see it on TikTok and all this stuff.
You want to see some guys going wild? Yeah, we're going wild right now. Also, let's talk some NFL action, Ron. On
Family show, Eric.
On Sunday, the 24th, Philadelphia Eagles at the Los Angeles Rams. What do you have?
That's a tough one. I'm going to go Philadelphia, though. Going to take my first road team.
I went Eagles as well. I listen. The Rams didn't impress me as much against New England. Like I really felt like New England could have won that game.
So you feel like Shania Twain? It doesn't impress you much.
That don't impress me much. Ooh. Yeah, pretty much what happened. So I think the Eagles are a better team. I think they got more talent. Yeah. Saquon Barkley right now, MVP. I would not, if I had money to put down, I would go that way.
He's definitely in the running.
Are you barking up the wrong tree? All right. Also this Sunday, you got the Baltimore Ravens at the Los Angeles Chargers, Ron. I am picking the Ravens again because somehow I keep thinking they're going to just kind of go on a run, and this may start it. I just feel like it's their time to start to make that push. So I went Ravens here.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not comfortable picking two road teams on the NFL, but I am going with the Ravens. I mean, look, it can't get much worse for them, can it?
I don't know. Kenny said, "All right, feels like a woman." Yes, that's very true too. It could be that. That could be it.
It's man. It's man. You feel like a woman.
Yeah. Kenny went Ravens as well.
Going Ravens.
All right, so we all going Ravens here.
That's Raven.
That's some big college matchups coming up this Saturday. Number 5, Indiana Hoosiers at number 2, Ohio State Buckeyes. Who do you have?
When was the last time they beat them?
I think when was Hoosiers when it came out? 1970, like whatever.
84 or something like that. Wait, is this basketball?
No. It's football. It's football. Indiana has a football team
on this one.
They have a football team. I want to believe in the Hoosiers here and say, wow, they're ranked 5th. Really haven't played anybody. Ohio State, it's got to be at home too.
I thought it was a misprint when you sent me the game, and I'm like, wait, is this football? Indiana is ranked number 5.
It's crazy. It's crazy. This is a big game for them too, because if they keep this close, they probably get in the college football playoffs. This one's an interesting one as well, Ron, Saturday, and this is going to be in Yankee Stadium. Aaron Judge won't be there because somebody has to win. But on the 23rd, you got number 19 Army Black Knights.
He's not a fighter either, so he won't show up for the Army.
There you go. Number 6 Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Yeah, no fights going on here. It's a good game though. Army undefeated, 9-0.
Yeah, but they're not going to beat Notre Dame.
Right?
It's not going to happen.
You want to believe, but I can't either. I did the same thing. I went Notre Dame here.
I'm going Notre Dame. It's not even a thought.
See if Kenny
went Ohio State. Big surprise. Nobody has faith in Indiana.
Yeah, no, I don't think anybody does. I really don't. I think most people just want to see it.
Now, close. If it was basketball,
they're playing.
I'd still go Ohio State. I'd still go Ohio State.
Indiana just not the same anymore. Kenny,
same thing. Kenny? If the Army Notre Dame game was basketball, I'd still go basketball as well.
Notre Dame, yeah. I don't know.
Kenny, who you got with this one, Army or Notre Dame?
But that's a good story too out of Army, 9-0. Like, you know what?
Yeah.
Those teams usually don't do, and you think about what they're doing, so they're serving but
now, do the Marines have a football team?
They do not. I don't believe so. I know Navy does, Army does, Air Force does. I don't think the Marines have a.
I don't think that's right. What about the Coast Guard?
Wow. They help serve this country. Cut it out. Behave.
Just saying.
Behave. I guess we lost Kenny. Oh, Kenny went Army. Wow. Okay, Kenny. I feel pretty good about it.
If Kenny's right,
just give him something for that.
Hey, Kenny, you got a chance to win something today because you're the only one that's So all you need is one.
Touch and go sometimes with Kenny. All right, one more matchup. This Saturday as well. Rhode Island Football Club. I think we're their lucky charm. They won again. They're playing at Colorado Springs, Ron.
For the championship.
Who do you got?
I'm going to go Rhode Island Football Club.
Right? We got to go Rhode Island. We're in Rhode Island on the radio now, baby. WBOB 990. Guess what? Rhode Island.
Look, after you guys win this game, please join us on the show next week.
We'd love to get a couple of players on. Let's talk about it. Let's have some fun. Absolutely. That would be awesome. Kenny. I forgot who. What are you doing, buddy? What is he doing over there?
I don't know. He's on a delay.
Hey, all right. He's got it. All right. That is our prediction segment. Tune in next week to see how you did.
Kenny, all you need is one.
Kenny, yeesh.
All you need is one.
I hope
1-7 this week.
He's got to go. He's got to win some because we picked some of these. I hope he picked some of the games we picked. Some of the teams.
He goes over.
I was getting nervous this week. It was like every time, Kenny, nope. Kenny, nope. Kenny, nope. All right, Ron. It's final thought time. But before we get into our final thoughts, we love to tell all the people out there how they can become a sponsor. So not only will you have eyes on your business, right, with Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, we're on MeWe as well. You will have ears as well, right? In Dallas, Georgia, WDJY 99.1, now in Rhode Island on 990 WBOB. So you will have ears as well to hear your business because we will obviously advertise those. So, Ron, how can they get their name on that banner right up there?
Simple, Eric. All they have to do is just send us an email to this right down here, ribroadcasting.media@gmail.com. We can send you out all the information you want, but really, all you really need to know is that you can go to your local coffee establishment and get a nice chocolate eclair with a spot of tea.
No, look at you. We do have people over. We have some over there in Britain.
We do
England.
have tea lovers, right?
Yeah.
So it costs less than that just to get, thousands of eyes and ears on your show. Go right up there in that spot up there where we have our WDJY-FM Dallas little advertisement there for when we're on in Dallas, Georgia. So send us out. We can send you the media kit, everything. It's pretty nice, actually. I can't wait to share the media kit with everyone out there.
We're looking forward to continue to grow. Again, if you'd like to be a guest on Sports Unfolded as well, you have some sports background, coaching, playing, email us. Let us know. We can definitely.
We're also doing the hiring for the Bruins.
Hey, yeah, let's kick Don Sweeney out. We could do a better job than Don Sweeney. I want to also tell everybody. Obviously,
hire me for a coach.
We're on all social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, MeWe. So a lot of ways to like, share, follow our show. So continue to do that as well. We continue to grow there. Again, we're on all audio platforms as well: Spotify, Google, Amazon, Red Circle, TuneIn. So a lot of ways you can listen to us as well if you don't have time to watch. So take advantage of that. If you'd like to buy Sports Unfolded, no watch, you don't have a watch on. I'd like to buy Sports Unfolded merchandise. Patreon, go to Patreon at RI Broadcasting. You get yourself some video stickers, pens, mugs, and more. So really cool stuff that's out there. So if you want to get some of that, go to Patreon.
Hold on. Let me see where the pins are. Where the pins are. These are pretty nice. These are nice. You're going to love these pins.
Look at those bad boys. Those are nice.
They are nice.
So, again, Patreon at RI Broadcasting. You can get yourself some Sports Unfolded merchandise as well. Ron, it is time for final thoughts, and our final thoughts don't necessarily have to be about anything sports related. It could be about anything going on in the world today. You are first this week, so I can't steal one of yours. Your final thought.
Yeah, Eric, with all the awards coming out for baseball, everybody's feeling all joyous about them. And it's not really surprising. I mean, we talked about it during the show, and Eric was really overboard with the fact of how mad he was about those guys winning. I'm not sure they should have won. Chris Sale, you deserve it. You had a magnificent season. But really, when you're picking players from all-star teams, it's a very thin line who's an MVP and who's not. Like, how about doing something crazy like picking a guy from a team that shouldn't have been there?
Francisco Lindor, by the way, I just looked it up.
The Mets. Why not somebody from, Cleveland or Detroit? How are you not taking somebody from Detroit? Those are the guys, the star player on those teams deserve it. They carried their team through the whole season to get there. And here we are picking, Ohtani with an all-star cast that, really, you could have picked anybody off the team. It would have been the same thing. And likewise with Eric's boys, the Yankees, with Aaron Judge. What, did he carry the team to it? No. You have like 9 other guys that are carrying the team with him. So it's not really a load when all 9 of them are contributing. I'm just like a little disappointed in Major League Baseball, like always.
Francisco Lindor, by the way, I just looked it up for the Mets. Like, that would have been a guy.
Exactly.
Well said, Ron. Well said. My final thought. The Daniel Jones era has ended in New York. The Giants have released Daniel Jones.
Did it start?
I will say this, though, Ron. This is where I start to wonder if we should be blaming the players and not the general managers that are putting these players on the field with obviously less than quality talent. And then you get rid of his best player, which was Saquon Barkley, and look what Barkley's doing for the Eagles. Never gave the kid an offensive line, never gave him a top wide receiver.
No.
And you wonder why he failed. We want to blame players so much, and we always blame players first. Sometimes let's peel it back. May not be the coach either. Maybe the general managers that are just not putting quality on the field for these players to be successful. He was very.
I do tend to agree with that, because when you think about it, Eric, we got all over Mac Jones, and he wasn't good, but we don't know if he could have been good if he was surrounded by at least one receiver that could catch and one lineman that can block.
Yeah, agreed. And again, here we go again, where a player is now. He was very emotional about having to leave New York, but his career started there, and it's sad to see how it ended. But Daniel Jones' era in New York over. I'm sure a lot of Giants fans are happy.
It might not be over in New York.
Think he goes to the Jets?
He could go to the Jets.
Yeah, I don't know if that would happen. But we'll see. Ron, I also wanted to take time today to say happy Thanksgiving to all those. So this Thursday, hope your holiday is filled with joy and laughter. There's so many things going on in the world, so many serious things going on in the world. There will be
laughter if they're watching going on daily on Thanksgiving.
Right? Watch, check it out. Have some fun, enjoy, take some time.
Absolutely.
Right?
Games.
Because there'll be some great football and basketball on.
Well, semi-good football.
I think the Giants are on.
Giants are playing Dallas.
Danny DeVito, right? Let's go. Chicken cutlet. He's in. He's back. Chicken parm. So, again, have some fun. Enjoy, laugh. Take a moment, because that's what these holidays are really about. Time with family, friends to enjoy. So hopefully everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving. This has been Sports Unfolded. Again, we are on every Friday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. So take some time. If you're enjoying what you've heard, seen, join us live. We'd love to get our fans to interact with us. Kenny, you've been amazing tonight. Thank you for joining. And again, we want to thank everybody that's going to watch afterwards. Like, share, and follow our show. Check out all our social media platforms, including the Sports Unfolded website, where you can see the Hall of Fame there as well. And we get to do it all over again next Friday night, Ron, at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And every single show, all we ever ask for is that we get some peace on earth.
Have a great night, everybody.